Cavendish is going to do it! Oh, he's done it! He's done it! Here comes Mark Cavendish, it's coming up to the line, is he going to get there? Oh, I think he has! Cavendish comes from absolutely nowhere! The Max missile! Yes!
I can't say it without sounding cocky, but you know when you're good, that's how you turn pro. You know you have something, that's why you pursue something, isn't it? You know? You can always dream of stuff. But so young, I was already world champion in 2005. And I was winning pro races even before I was pro, you know, so I kind of just, you don't know, but you can have an idea that you can do all right, you know.
After a third-place finish at Scel de Presse, the Giro D'Italia is the next goal for Cavendish, and there's no doubt that his biggest aim will be stage victories at the race closest to his heart, the Tour de France. The Manxman made his debut there back in 2007 as a neo-pro.
I was at my depth, but it gave me the knowledge of how good I needed to be to the Tour, of actually how much bigger than the sport the Tour de France is. Suffered as soon as we got to the Alps. I was first rider dropped. It's crazy because you think you know cycling, and I explained to everybody who's never in the Tour de France, you got cycling, and you know you have amateurs that think they know pros, that they watch it, but they can't have an idea of what it's like to ride as a pro. Like it's another level. And you got from pro to world tour is another step up. We haven't just got a step up to the Tour de France. It's above the sport. It's like you've got the 170 best bike riders in the world. None of them are really doing their first Grand Tour. None of them are really coming back from injury. None of them are using a Grand Tour to prepare. Like, it's the consequences of winning and losing of that race are so much greater than anything. So you have the 170 best, all at the peak of their fitness for that year, all with not just cycling world's eyes looking at them, but the world's eyes looking at them. It's pretty nuts, you know, not even just in the racing. Everything around it is just bigger. It's just moves, it's just the highs, the lows are just more. It's so special.
And it's no wonder the Tour is so cherished by the 37-year-old, as along with Eddy Merckx, Cavendish holds the all-time record for most stage wins. Here comes Cavendish going to the line, he's done it again! There it is, Mark Cavendish, Eddy Merckx, level.
We made history! Abbiamo fatto la storia!
There's a difference between being a sprinter and being a Grand Tour sprinter. People have this idea that if you put the most power out, you're the best sprinter. You know, there's guys that just put out wedges of power. But sprinting anyway in cycling, it's not about sprinting. It's about sprinting when you're in the red and you've been in the red for a while, you know? And that's when you see, that's why I don't have high peak power, but I'm able to have, I don't lose as much. I'm quite efficient in the bunch. So people with these massive peaks, like, it's actually irrelevant when you come to the end of a sprint in a lot of races. And the Tour de France, like I said, as everything is elevated.
Out of contract at the end of 2022, Mark was on the verge of signing for B&B Hotels, but the French team's collapse left the door open for Astana Qazaqstan to snap up the sprint star.
I don't just want a job, you know, if things aren't right, it's not going to happen. Astana is the perfect opportunity to win in sprints. It's something the team hasn't done before, but my God, they got the capacity to do it, you know, and it's really exciting.
Astana's current squad doesn't boast a wealth of experience in winning sprint stages, so the team has had to adapt to leading out the Briton.
You don't need a train, but a train definitely gives the biggest benefit to try and win the sprint. But the sprinter is just the last part of that system. He or she has to get it as right as everyone else, but every single piece of that sequence has a knock-on effect. If they do it right or wrong, it has a knock-on effect of not just the person after them, but everyone after that. The young lads come in, you talk about it. Okay, And when you see it implemented, it's like, yeah, you really get a buzz off it, you know?
Cavendish now launches. Cavendish going. Cavendish in front. On the right as we look at it's Gaviria. On the right Gaviria, but Cavendish is still in front. Cavendish is going. Bauhaus is coming to the left. The line won't get there. Cavendish still there. Cavendish still there. Oh, it's number 16. And Mark Cavendish, 9 years after his last appearance at the Giro D'Italia, returns and wins.
Nobody kind of looks at what I have done. Do you know what I mean? Because I've never kind of looked at what I've done. I've always set a target, try to do it, and then set another target, you know? And of course it set me up to kind of be in this position that I can't really appreciate 161 wins, you know? Because I have to keep winning. Every year you have to get better. It's not just in cycling, it's in every sport, it's in life, you know? Don't rest on what you've done. You continue to strive forward.